and video should be nice to look at. I'm starting a game. We'll call it Cash Flow. I'll make it for 2 hours.
Okay.
You see that?
Two sec. I'm in 1 minute
Uh,
or less. Okay, log in. I'm in. Cash flow.
Cash Flow. Yes, found you. All right.
All right.
Right, and let's. I'll start sharing the screen so we'll be recording.
Okay.
There you go. Choose lawyers and lots of money. So, on and okay. Your move, Ben.
You could. Okay. Let's see. I am a mechanic. 2,000 in cash flow.
Okay.
I take my favorite is the Gulfstream.
Okay.
The yacht.
Yeah,
Okay. Roll.
that's good. Okay. Charity, you should pay.
Donation is 200.
Yeah. Cool.
Paid.
All right. You can see my screen, right?
Let me see. Yeah, let me see. Okay, there it is.
Okay. Okay, it's a limited partnership and it's early in the game, so I'll definitely pick it up.
Yeah.
So that I keep it as a there's no logic to it.
Successful pizza chain expanding
The
the
only
production of frozen pizzas, grocery stores.
okay there's no logic to
There's
this
nothing
one.
to know there, right?
Yeah, I mean I would just buy a limited partnership early in the game. Early in the game. I mean, or if I already have too many limited partnerships, then I'd buy because then together it makes a good sum.
Mm.
That's the only logic that I apply over there. I don't exactly look at whether it produces so much cash or not.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Fourplex, recovery,
Fourplex.
neighborhood. Okay.
That's 100,000 cost. Cash flow 800. Down pay 20K.
All right. So 100,000. That's 25,000 each,
Each.
right?
That's
So
pretty good.
25,000 each has a good potential. So by market research, it could go up to 40,000. Last time I thought it
Yeah.
was 35,000, but then it was actually 40,000.
Okay.
So 25 to 40 is 15 per unit. So you stand to gain if you get a market card. You stand to gain 15 times 4, so 60,000 in one shot.
Yeah. So if I buy it and let's say I sell it later
Yes.
for about let's say between 70 and 90,000.
uh, 90,000 of what?
Is it because when I sell flexes, it's usually between 70 and 90,000, somewhere like that.
Okay, The best way to calculate the value on this one is to look at the unit cost. Okay, so this one is 25,000.
25 each
Yeah, each.
times 4.
Yeah, and it can go up to 40,000 each. So when it goes up to 40,000, the difference is 15,000. And what is your down pay on this one?
20.
20. So okay. So when you sell,
Yeah.
if you sell at 40,000 each, you will gain 60,000 total. That means 15 on each unit. So you would sell at a total of 160, plus you would get back your 20,000 in down that you paid in down payment. So that would make it a deal of 80,000 cash.
Yeah. So I look at it as when it comes to down pay,
Yes.
right? If I pay 20K and I get 90, that's
no, you get
60.
60. You get 60 plus 20. That's 80 when you sell.
The down pay, you mean?
Yes, yes. You get you return the down pay. I mean, now when you look at these, now this one, I'm sure it's not producing too much cash flow.
It's 800.
800. So that's hardly anything.
Yeah.
Huh?
But it's better than 300 and 170.
Yes. Okay. So when you look at it that way, you don't look. That's all right. You didn't buy?
No, I hit my screen and refresh the page.
Ouch. Okay. Are you still in the game?
Anyways, yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right.
Your turn.
All right. So like I said, in the initial part of the game, your intention is to make capital gains. If you get cash flow, it's a bonus.
And capital gain was again what you sell it for.
Yes, selling price higher, buying price lower.
Yeah.
Okay, so your buying price, you have to buy in profit, which means you have to buy when the market is low. And I'm using general terms because when we go through the real market, this is how it will sound.
Yeah.
I can say buy at 25 or buy at 20 and sell at 40, but that is not how the real market would work. You have to buy when the market is low. When the market is low, the prices are low, so your expense, your capital expenditure on your on whatever you're buying is low, which means you are buying in profit because you have your asset which has the potential of growing. All right.
And that comes with market research, basically.
Yes, the market always cycles. So
yeah,
market cycles from high to low and low to high. So and this is across any asset, whether it is stocks, whether it is real estate, whether it is business products, like say now Zoom, the market value for Zoom is very high because there are a lot of users compared to what it was before the pandemic. Right? So the market situation, as the market situation changes, there's a lot of, like, look at gold. If there is a crash in the stock market or in the oil prices, immediately you see its reflection in gold. You see the price of gold go up or down depending on how the other markets behave.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So the market always keeps moving up and down. You have this kind of volatility. It's called volatility. Okay, so markets which keep fluctuating too much are called highly volatile markets. If you have a market which is relatively steady or it takes a long time to move, like real
That's the
estate,
low volatility, or
that's less volatility.
yeah.
All right, so real estate, for example, real estate takes about 5 years to change. Every year it changes a little. It doesn't change dramatically. It doesn't change too much. So because it
Mm.
doesn't change too much, you say it's a relatively stable or it's less volatile. Whereas stocks, if you look at stocks, they fluctuate. You have to use the word fluctuate over there because they make so drastic or so much of sudden movements. They suddenly everything goes down and then sometimes suddenly everything comes up, especially if the company announces some bad news, like for example, earlier we had the Mexican oil spill by BP, if you remember
Okay.
that. This was
Yeah.
like I think about 10 12 years 12 15 years ago, probably 12 years ago, probably, when the Mexican oil spill happened. Suddenly BP was held responsible for the spill, and because of that they were facing penalties, they were facing litigation, they were facing a lot of legal issues,
All kinds of things. Yeah.
all kinds of things. And then this automatically, the share price of the stock value of BP crashed. It came down so much. This is just one accident, and you know such huge drop in value. That's what happens with stocks. But real estate, it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't matter whether you are bankrupt or not. Your neighborhood is what determines your valuation and the way your neighborhood is progressing. So if you look at the market cards that, I mean, if you look at the deals that you see on the game as well, the neighborhood, that kind of neighborhood is mentioned in the card. Have you noticed that, Ben? Hello?
Small deal. Which type do you want? Small deal cost
No. In the big
five.
deals,
The
even in
big
the
deals.
small
Yeah.
deals, I think. Yeah, if you look at the deals, the real estate deals as such over there, you will see it says neighborhood is in transition, or
Yeah.
neighborhood, the zone. This is right now in. I mean, zone change is expected or something like that. Especially if you look at the 20 acres land deal, it
Mm.
talks about the zone specifically. I'm sure when we look at the deals, you'll see them more. I mean, but you can keep your eye out for that. You can keep a lookout for that, because in
Yeah.
the description it will say, it will describe what kind of neighborhood it is.
Yeah. 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 For sure. For sure.
All right. So I'm going to
So
go.
this was a card, so I was starting reading it.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So
Well maintained. You play in a desirable area. See, desirable area
yeah.
describes the neighborhood. And because it's a desirable area, look at the cost. It's
Mm.
60,000, which means it's 30,000
30
per
each.
unit, which is kind of the top, the high end of the market.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Very high end of the market. I'll just pass. Okay, go on.
Okay. Right. We have
Oh,
a car wash.
this is a 350,000 one, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 1.5K in cash flow. Down pay is 50K.
Yeah. Look at it. prime location in high growth area. Hi, Arsen.
Yep.
Welcome, Arsen. Okay, can't hear you.
Hello,
Unmute,
Ursin.
please.
Welcome, welcome. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself right now.
Ask to unmute. Okay.
Click the microphone button and press something called call.
Ask to unmute. Okay. Can you see? All right.
There you go.
Yes, there you go.
Can you
Hi,
hear me?
hi. Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
How are you?
Okay. Can you see the screen as well?
Yes, yes. I
Okay.
can.
We're in the middle of a game. Yeah, when you messaged, we hadn't actually started, but then we thought we'll restart the game when you join.
Ah,
And when I
okay.
come home.
Yes. Okay. So where are you, Ben? Anywhere close?
I'm getting off the bus right now, so it's
Almost there,
10
right?
minutes,
Okay.
10-minute walk.
Okay. All right. Okay. Then once you get home, we'll restart the game. What do you say, Arsen?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we'll
Let's
go
just
on
look
with this
at the
game right now.
let's look at the cards.
Yeah.
So I don't have the calculator on right now, but
Okay. No problem. I'm going to explain it. It says family car wash for sale, family feuding, wants out as soon as possible, prime location in high growth area. Now, Ursin, we were just discussing about neighborhoods. Okay. So again, Ben, look at it. It says prime location in high growth area. So there's
yeah, so
two
that's
things.
it's very expensive.
Very expensive. The asset value is the asset that they have priced the asset at 350,000, whereas there is another card in the same game which is pricing the asset a similar car wash at 125,000. Right? So that is okay. When if we happen to see that card, we can analyze what kind of neighborhood it is in.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So could you skip this one? Pass.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's my financial statement, Ursil. So I picked up a partnership for $20,000. Now, when I pick up partnerships in the game, I don't. I only look at which part of the game am I in. Am I in the early stage of the game, or am I in the later stage of the game? Because if I'm in the early stage of the game, I have a good chance of of selling the partnership. But this is purely for the game, not for real life. Okay, so since we are covering it based on the game, I just wanted to mention that. But if it's later in the game, unless I already have a couple of partnerships, I don't pick up I don't pick up partnerships in the later side of the game because the chance of the card coming up is very less. So me making an investment which I can't dispose. You know, I'm putting in money for something that I can't dispose later is not a good idea. So later in the game, I don't go for the limited partnerships. But earlier in the game, regardless of how much cash flow it gives me, I still go for the partnerships. But that's purely for the game only. It's not for real life. Okay, Ben, is it possible for you to roll?
Come again?
Can you roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Since you still have a positive cash flow and since you have this one, did you roll 1 or 2? Oops.
2.
2. Okay. All right.
Should I roll 1?
No. If you have a positive cash flow, I always recommend you roll 2.
Yeah.
Because the chances of landing on doodads or expenses are
Less.
still the same. It doesn't change.
Are still the same, but you jump faster over the paydays and
Yes.
hopefully get more cash, right?
Yes. All right.
Okay.
All right. So do you play the best in the neighborhood, proud owner, retiring to another state? Okay. Welcome back,
Proud
Arsen.
owner.
All right.
Let
Okay, so do you play as best in the neighborhood? Again, see, the mention is the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Proud owner. Now, proud owner is another indication that the owner is looking at a higher asset valuation, right? And retiring to another state to be near her grandchildren. Okay, all right. I don't know if her grandchildren, the fact that the owner is a lady has any significance here, but in real life, I would think that that has some kind of significance, because if you have read these books, many of them separate the thinking process of men from women. So if you really, I don't want to be discriminating here, but
No.
it's a fact that men think in a certain way, women think in a different way, and probably the game is trying to tell us that the owner is a lady, and we should consider the deal accordingly. That it is, if you're dealing with a lady, deal accordingly. No deal.
Yeah.
Remember, I mean, keep that in mind, kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's a possibility. I don't remember the values on this one. Could you share that, Ben?
This one is 70,000 cost, cash flow 140, down pay 7K.
Okay, all right. So she is asking for a 10% down payment, and her valuation is 70,000. 70,000 is a really high valuation for a Duplay, which is 35,000 per unit.
She's not a motivated seller.
Yes, exactly. All right. Okay, so could you pass?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
I hope you guys don't hear me breathing. If you hear me breathing, I should turn off the mic. I'm walking upstairs right now. Uphill, I mean.
How many flights?
And it's pretty cold right now.
Okay.
I think it's like plus 5 Celsius.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's getting closer to 0 now.
It's good exercise.
Nice, huh? It is. Okay. Keep yours.
All right. All right. Okay. Now you can see. Okay. Now Arsen and me, we can't see the values, and I don't want you to tell us the values until we have looked at the description.
Okay.
All right. So businessman liquidating this 3x2 house needs cash to save his business. Now, what does that tell us?
That's a motivated seller, basically.
Exactly. It's a distress sale. He has to sell somehow or the other.
Yeah.
His situation. Now, this is something, again, when you look at a real market situation, if we are able to analyze what the other party is going through, what the situation of the other party is, then we definitely have an advantage of buying or making more profit. may not always sound very nice when we say it like this. It could look like we're trying to take advantage of somebody else's distress, but that's a fact.
Yeah,
Business has to be
that
seen.
happens.
Yeah, business has to be seen differently from other things, humanitarian values. But yeah, okay. So let's not go into that one right now. But this
No.
is currently occupied by a happy tenant, which means
Yeah.
you get two types of profit here. One is that you are buying in profit because the other party is selling in distress. Like Ben says, motivated seller.
Mhm.
And the other side is currently occupied by a happy tenant, which means you don't have to go through the effort, which means you are saving effort of finding a good tenant.
Yeah.
So that's twice as two kinds of benefit that you're looking at over here. And now, Ben, can you give us the values?
Okay. Cost 65K. Cash flow
65.
150.
Okay.
Down pay 7K.
Okay. All right. Now he is asking for a little more than 10% for down pay. But you said the cash flow is what? 400?
65. No, the cash flow is 150.
150. Okay. 150 is actually
so it's
pretty low. Pretty low.
It's pretty low. That's why
Very low.
the tenant is happy.
Is happy. You're right. You're right. Okay. But his valuation, when it comes to, compared to the other big deals, compared to the 3x2 houses in big deals, his valuation is quite reasonable. It comes to 65, which is on the lower end of the big deals 3x2s. In the small deals, you can get 3x2s for as low as 45,000, I believe. I'm not sure. I haven't been through these.
Yeah, I think it's around 35, 40, 45.
40, yeah.
Somewhere there.
It's 35, I think. I have
35.
seen
remember.
35.
All right. So that's
35? Okay.
that's much lower. So if you're doing 3x2s, I would prefer to do them in the small deals, because ultimately when you sell them for 135K, 135K is the best deal on a 3x2 that you can get in the game. If you sell a 35,000 worth house for 135, you easily make 100K on that. But then for my kind of strategy, since I only do the big deals, and you can't pick only the small deals with 3x2s, that's not possible in the game. So, but in real life, I would compare the small deals 3x2s as places like the suburban areas, and 3x2s in the big deals in the more sophisticated areas, or in the better neighborhoods, right? So you will find most of these, and it's a little unrealistic for to sell the suburban house at the same rate as the urban house. But it's you have to consider certain things in the game, so we'll let that pass. All right, Ben, you can pick up this one if you want to pick up a
Quick
house.
cash flow, but I already jumped, so.
Okay, all right, that's fine, because 3x2.
I usually take them for
Yeah.
quick return.
The 3x2 houses also have another problem. If you have noticed, sometimes you get a market card which says your bank has increased its
Yes.
interest rate, and you have to
Yes.
return. So you could lose everything that you have invested in 3x2 houses. There was once a game where I had like 5 houses, and everything got wiped out completely. All right, Ben, you home yet? Okay, Ben. Okay.
I fell out a little bit here. I just got home. I just got home,
okay.
so
Okay,
it's
again.
connected to the Wi-Fi. Okay, I'm here.
Okay. So there's another house. So downsized manager again should tell us something about the kind of owner. So he's been through good times, and so downsized manager, which means the house should be one of the nicer ones. Can't afford payment on new salary. Okay. Area in transition. Again, it talks about the neighborhood. Area in transition means it has the potential to appreciate. All right. But even then, the cost is still at 70,000, which means 70,000 is not so bad. But but
So
look at
good
the
too.
cash flow. It's 300,000. So probably, $300 of cash flow, which probably means that the manager will continue to live in the house and pay rent. So he would sell his own house and become a tenant in his own house. All these are possibilities which we can use in real life negotiations with in our potential deals. If somebody wants to sell their house and they want to stay back over there, convert their use their house, avoid all the shifting and the moving, and instead they want to continue living over there, you could make an arrangement like this with which gives you some kind of cash flow and reduces your down payment also. All right, I will pick it up just for the fun of it. Once Ben is connected and he is ready to move on to the next game, we can just change the game, I think. Ben, are you able to take your turn? I think Ben is not. Okay, all right. Okay, this is a small deal. You clicked a small deal. City planners requiring. Oh, no. This is a market card. Yes. Okay.
Yes. It's a market card.
Market card. And this deal can be made only if you handle the small deals. If you, the 10 acres park, 10 acres land is available only in the small deals. And builder needs 10 acres with the stream. If you sell, you give up the cash flow you currently receive from this company. I don't remember the 10 acres land.
Don't have cash flow.
There's no cash flow on it.
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay, anyway. All right, Ben, could
also,
you move?
It's not a company too. I think there's a misreading writing on there.
No, I think it's generalizing. It could, the game is also giving you hints about the kind of deals that happen in the real markets. So it's only fair that they create a content. The text that they create is including many factors. It doesn't have to be just about the specific deal that you see in the game. They could talk about anything, but finally, do you have the asset with you or not? That's the only question.
Yes, of course.
Looking at. All right, Ben, you ready for the next game or?
I think he is not.
Yeah, I think not.
You hear me?
Yes,
Do you
yes,
hear me?
Yes.
yes. Shall we start a new game,
Yeah, sure.
including Ursin?
Okay.
No, excluding.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Let me take my earphones.
All right.
I'll join right after that.
Cash flow and one. Okay.
Do a countdown so we can join ASAP without disturbance.
That's all right. That's three of us. Ready. Okay. Cash flow.
Oh yeah, you have a password on it.
Okay. Password is just number 1.
Cool. Estoy listo.
Password number 1.
Estoy listo, amigo.
Sorry?
Estoy listo, amigo. I'm ready, friend.
Okay.
I'm
That's
ready.
Spanish, right?
Español.
Espanol. Okay.
You coming, Ersin?
Yes.
I've been taking some Spanish lessons on Duolingo. There's an app called Duolingo.
Yeah, I do that regularly, but I haven't been there for a while.
Okay.
Since I'm busy doing other stuff now,
Hmm.
learning cash flow. No time for languages.
Okay. All right. Okay. There we go. Ben.
All right. Now I'm gonna play how I play.
All right.
Let's see, my boat. I always need my boat.
Is it possible for you to screen share now, Ben?
Let's
Are you
see.
still on your mobile?
You have to turn off your screen sharing.
I will. Yes. I did.
I'm a 5-0, a pig.
Okay.
Total
Police
income
officer. Okay.
3K.
Bed and breakfast. First deal. Take it. You know why you take it? Okay, hold it right there. Next one. Say yes. All right. Okay. Now
Only retiring.
this is not a cash flow asset, but I would say it's look at it for 2 reasons. One is it gives you about 3%, 3.5%
Return.
returns. I mean, cash flow for your down payment. All right. So that's 3.3% returns, which is not really good, but it's not bad. And at least it is giving you something.
It's in the middle, basically.
It's
Yeah.
in the middle, yeah. And
Yeah.
the best part is when you get this early on in the game. Now this is really related to the game only, not with real life. But when you get it early on in the game, this is a good deal because there is a high chance of the market card coming up, and the market card normally there's only one market card, and it usually gives you about 100K returns on that. So you would get a cash deal for 130,000 on this one.
Okay. Cool. I got it.
Right. And Ersin, can you share your screen?
course. Sorry, there's an error.
Share only this window.
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay, stock markets.
Okay, mechanic. Good. I mean, we're all on very low income profiles this
Yes.
time. This is
Yes.
good actually, because you could make a lot of insights based on that. Okay. Basically,
Okay.
you have a positive cash flow. You are only donating from your cash, which means for which I think you should pay. You should donate until you have
Only two.
a negative cash flow. And every time you get a chance to roll the 2 dice.
Twice.
Yeah,
Yes.
because the odds are not changing anyway. Right. Share. Okay. And roll. Big deal. Okay. This is the car wash that we were discussing as opposed to the other one. The family car wash at 350 and the coin operated 4-bay coin operated auto car wash. Okay, now look at this. It says, now I've never actually paid so much close attention to the text, but now successful. A successful 4-bay coin operated auto wash near busy intersection. Now they have specifically given you a hint that this is in a good location. They have not mentioned which kind of neighborhood it is in, but it says busy intersection. A busy intersection, when it comes to a business, a busy intersection is something very good. Extremely, in India, where I come from, we even have this kind of, hi Ben, nice to see you.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So in India, where I come from, we have the saying that if you are at an intersection, if you have roads on 2 sides of your office, then you are actually in a palace. Your business is going to be king size. So that's so different. I mean, every market realizes that this is a kind of signs that you look out for when you're looking at a business establishment. And seller is moving to retirement community out of state. Okay, that's not really very significant here, I think. But look at the cash flow. Look at the cash flow compared to the down payment. Now, this is what I think is a great deal. 25,000 down payment and 1,800 in cash flow.
Opposed to the other one that was 150.
Yes.
In cost.
Yes.
And 1,000 in
350 in cost. The down pay was 50,000 for 350K cost. Cost was 350K.
350.
Yes, the cost was 350, and the down pay was 50,000.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, compared to this one, right? And it had a cash flow which was, I think, maybe 1,000 or something like that.
I think it was 1,000 blank.
Yes. Yeah. So this one, 1,800 in cash flow for 25,000 in down pay. If you look at the ratio, it's going to be 36, 36,
I'm gonna go.
7.2%.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, upgrade now and remove. Okay, whatever that means. Does it say? Okay, that takes me to buy Zoom. Okay, I don't want to buy Zoom right now. Okay, we will restart the same Zoom session with the same passcode and everything once it ends. Okay.
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 What ends? The recording or the Zoom or what?
No, the Zoom will end in I think 9 minutes.
40 minutes.
How come we were talking for longer last time?
No. We spoke. This one I had the Zoom on for a long time now already.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember, we've been waiting. Anyway, never
That's
mind.
true,
We'll
we've been
restart
waiting
the
for
whole
that.
thing. Only thing is, it'll be 2 separate recordings, and I will put them together later when I edit it.
Cool.
The game will stay. It's not a problem at all. We could just rejoin the Zoom.
All right.
Okay, so this one, the cash flow is excellent. Look at it, 7.2% compared to the cash flow for a 25,000 down pay. My normal
Hmm.
cutoff is 5%. This one is excellent. Look at 7.2. They're definitely gonna pick it up.
Ersin,
Yes.
did you hear everything Lijo said right now, or was it just me that fell out?
I'm hearing.
No, I was hearing like matrix sounds. So
All right, okay. You want me to repeat it? I'll say that again. So
maybe if it's important, then repeat it.
yes, definitely. I mean, can you hear me now clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So 1,800 or 1,800 in cash flow for 25K in down pay translates to 7.2% in ROI.
That's 1,800 divided by 25,000
Yes.
times 100.
Yes.
And it says, why does it say 2.5? I don't know.
No, something
Let me
wrong.
do it again.
Okay.
1,8.
Okay, the better way to do it on a regular calculator is 1,800 times 100 divided by 25.
Times, okay.
Yeah, you do the multiplication first and then you divide later.
Okay. Times 100 divided by
25K.
25 equals to 7.2.
Yeah, right. The other way to do it is to look at down pay 25K. So if you convert it to 100K, that means you multiply by 4, which means you multiply
So
your cash
25
flow by 4.
times 4 equals 1K, 100K.
Yeah. So you multiply both 1,800 by 4 and 25K by 4. You will get 7,200 cash flow and down pay 100,000. You didn't get the idea. Let me do that again.
So 1,800 divided by 4 is 7,200.
1,800 divided by 25K is
divided.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's do
Multiply.
I will stop this share and let me start Word. And all in 5.5 minutes. Or let me do just Notepad is fine. Okay, so here's how it looks. So you have to do 1-800 divided by 25K times 100. Now this is what you need to do. All right, so instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1-800 times 4 divided by 25,000 times 4. The whole times 100. It's the same thing, right? Ben, you figured?
No, I'm trying to do it on the calculator here. I'm a little slower than usual.
Okay. Forget the calculator. I'm trying to tell you how to do it without the calculator.
Cool.
Okay. So, all right. No, because I tell you what, the other players, when you're playing a game with somebody else, the other players may not be very patient with you. They start screaming at you in the chat box. All right. So here's how here's how it looks. So 25K times 4 is easily going to be, look at it. Okay, look at the bottom part. This is equal to 100K. All right. $25K times 4.
That sounds
is
good, yeah.
100K. All right. Let's look at the top then. Since you are already multiplying the bottom by 4, you are multiplying the top by 4. So 1-800 times 4 equals 7,200. This is easy to do.
That's also depending.
All right. Okay. So this is one of the examples where it works better, because the bottom is only 25K, so it's easy to multiply with a 4 and come back with multiply the top with another 4. Okay, you are multiplying the numerator and the denominator by 4, which keeps the value the same but makes calculation easier. All right, so that's how I got 7.2 without the calculator. Okay, Ben still looks confused.
Okay.
Use the calculator. Keep the calculator.
But yeah, so
right.
On paper you have to divide or times 4 on both, basically. So
yeah,
right?
I'll do this again the next time. Okay, screen sharing has gone. Okay, I thought. Okay, let's close the Zoom and rejoin, because it says 1 minute, less than 1 minute now.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I will end the meeting.
See you in a sec.
It's my time.
All right, that's
Police
police
officer.
officer again. Good. Low end big. Okay, now mixed reaction. Owner's legal trouble leads to forced sale of this 8plex. No qualifying on this loan as mortgage holder is cooperating. Okay, this is from real life. So it just means that anybody can pick up. Like you don't need a good credit rating
Mhm.
to pick up this asset, because the owner has legal troubles and is it's a forced sale. So good, nice. But then the valuation is 200K, which means for 8 units, it's 100K for it's 25K per unit.
Yes.
25K
And
per unit
also
is not exactly the bottom, but it's
a fair
it-
price.
yeah, it's a fair price. You could look at it, but the down payment is a little higher than what I would expect.
Mm.
Yes.
It's 40K. 40K is like what is it?
20%.
Or 5%? No, yeah, 5% of the value, right?
No, 20%, not 5.
Sorry, not 5%. It's 20% plus 25, close to 25%, right?
Exactly 20%.
Exactly 20%. Okay, all right. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So
And
yes, 20 times. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
4%.
Exactly 20%. 20%.
4% cash flow
Yeah, 20%,
according to down
because
payment.
on the game, if you look at it, you can actually see most of the real estate is less than 20% down pay. So this one is a little on the higher side, and
Mhm.
the cash flow is not so bad, 200 per unit, 1600. The good thing about big deals is when you look at the cash flow, and one deal gives you a huge amount of cash flow. I mean, passive income.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's easier to cover your passive income requirement as well. This is more or less related to the game. But even in real life, if you get good deals like these, it is it gives you a bigger uh, cash flow, a bigger passive income without having to deal too many times.
Mhm.
Let's say if you are doing this for a 3x2, and a 3x2, your best cash flow is $400.
Yes.
For $400, if you have to do 4 deals for $400, for 400, with $400 cash flow each, if you have to come to this kind of cash flow which you get in one single deal.
Mhm.
So Ben, can you hear us still? Your video is lost, so I'm just wondering if
Yeah, I can hear you.
okay, all right, your connection is still good. So if you look at the number of deals that you have to do when it comes to smaller deals compared to larger deals like this, it's easier to do it one time than to repeat it several times or wait and repeat it. In real life, the biggest cost is your time cost, because you have to wait for a good deal to come by. Whereas if one good big deal happens, then it's good. And in real life, again, you have to convince a lot of people, because maybe you're not putting up this 40,000. Now, if I have to go for, if you have to buy this, you definitely don't have the cash to do the down pay. You have to convince your
Mhm.
bank, or you have to convince your financiers, you have to convince your investors who are investing on your word. So now again, you have to look at how good you are at calculating three things. One is the risk of returns. So you have to, when you're communicating, you have to communicate how well you can manage the risk. When you're talking to your investors, when you're talking to your bank, you have to say, you have to tell them, you have to convince them how well you're going to manage your risk. The next thing is that you have to convince them about how good you are at managing a property like this or an investment like this. So that's number one, is the risk associated with the property itself or the market or the regulation or something like that. I mean, anything that is beyond your control. How is that risk going to be contained, or how is that risk going to be absorbed by your strategy? Number two is, how are you qualified as a person to manage an investment that they are probably going to put in for this value? And the number three is how this asset is going to add value to their portfolio. Or when you look at the game, how is this asset going to sit in my financial statement and add value to my portfolio? These are the three things that you have to definitely look at when you are making a big deal. If you're making small deals, there's not so much of a concern. At least people are not so worried about you doing small deals. And if you look at real markets, you will notice that even if you are entering as a small player in a market which has many competitors, the big players will not notice you until you cover a certain percentage of the market share. They will not even consider you as a threat because there will always be small players. But if you cross a certain percentage in terms of market share, suddenly they start noticing you. Suddenly they start creating strategies that will help them step over you. This is a part of the real market where if you're doing small deals, nobody's bothered. Even your investors are not worried about the kind of money that they lend you because they know that the risk is smaller. But when you're doing bigger deals, you get a higher cash flow. The advantage is always there, but you also have to look at all the other three things. And this is something from real life, which if you handle this well, if we handle this good, we may succeed in creating investment with zero money from our own investment. If you are able to convince your investors, if you're able to convince your bank, or a combination of both, or if you're able to convince family, if you're able to convince friends who will now, this is even more significant these days because this is the age of crowdfunding. Crowdfunding works exactly like this. Everybody chips in small amounts from their pocket. Many people, they chip in small values, and you create a huge fund which helps you take the business to the next level without any investment from your side. If you have zero money with you, if you have zero cash, you still are able to make it if you are good at convincing, or if you have analyzed the deal properly, and if you are good at convincing your investors, it could be crowdfunding investors, or it could be institutional investors, it could be the bank, it could be a combination of all of these, but it still works if you can do this. Now, many people ask this question: I have no money, I can't start a business because I have no money, and I can't start a business because I have no cash to contribute to the equity. Now, this is not true. If the And this is again on in our previous video meets also I mentioned this. If we watch something like Dragon's Den or Shark Tank, all these TV shows which deal with investment, this is quite and I recommend that every one of us who wants to start our own business or wants to make investments, we should watch these shows, because these are the Shark Tank or the Dragon's Den. The sharks and the dragons, both of them are people who have experience in analyzing business opportunities when they hear it, regardless of which field it is. They listen to the opportunity, they listen to, and some of the things that they always mention is they look at the person, they look at the person behind the idea, and they say, okay, yes, the person is investable. This is exactly what I mentioned as a second point that we should be careful about, that we should be able to convince our investors that we are able to handle this kind of an investment, that we are qualified to handle this kind of an investment. That is one of those things that, okay, let's move then. Is there, Ersin, Ben, you want to ask something? You want to comment something on this one? I've been talking for a long time.
Okay, my comment is the down payment is so much, so it will take me negative on paydays.
Yes.
And since it's the first deal, I don't want to do that with only one asset, but still there's a good cash flow.
Okay.
And I will still not going to buy it because the cost is not the best. So I can't have huge capital gains because of this deal. So
Okay.
I'm not going to take it.
No. Don't click pass yet. Okay, wait.
Okay.
I'm going to convince you to do it. Okay.
Okay, you are selling me 8plex right now.
Yes. I'm going to sell you the 8plex. Okay, all right. Now, if you calculate your potential capital gains on this one. Now, one single plex
80,000.
unit, 40,000. Yeah? 40,000.
I think maximum is 80,000 because I think for one plex, I didn't see any 40,000. The maximum was 35,000.
No, it's 40,000. I made the same mistake in the last meet, and then we saw the card which said 40,000.
Okay, so there's an opportunity.
There is a huge opportunity. Okay, now, okay, notice the word huge.
60%.
And suddenly it sounds appealing.
Yes, I'm going to buy it.
All right. So this comes from my sales background, because I've been into sales for, I think, the last 15 years or so, and I've noticed that when it comes to sales, two things are very important. One is your body language. The other is the power words that you use in this one, in your conversation. Okay. So when you're into sales, the first thing about sales is your energy, how
Mhm.
active you are in your sales.
Mhm.
Now, if you are only reactive, and you see these kind of salesmen in some of the showrooms, especially if you go to car showrooms, I've noticed
Mhm.
they are very reactive. You ask them a question, they respond to you with the fact. They just give you the answer.
Mhm.
They don't try to push, or they are not.
Mhm.
They don't come up to you and say, okay, this, I'm not generalizing, but this happen. I've seen this happen more often in car showrooms, probably because they see a lot of lookers rather than customers.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they probably take an active interest only if the customer is showing some kind of interest in the vehicle. Uh, but okay, so if the one thing is the active energy that you spend when you're trying to sell something, and this
Mhm.
active energy is something that you have to okay. So the next thing is the kind of power words that you use in your conversation. Now I said
Mhm.
that's a huge opportunity here.
Mhm.
The way I said huge is, one, it is my energy that reflects in the way I say it, so it's my
Mhm.
energy. And then I use the word huge to give the perception, to change the perception of how you look at it into my perception of how I look at it.
Mhm.
All right. So the one thing that I believe very strongly is, if I don't believe in the product, I will not be able to sell it.
Mhm.
All right.
That's
So
true.
I have to believe, and then I can make you believe.
Mhm.
Right. So I believe that there is a huge opportunity here. Okay. So, and that's what I'm going to convince you about. I'm warning you in
Oh,
advance. Okay. All right. So let's calculate the potential returns. Now, if you're buying this at 25 and you're going up to 40, your profit margin that you can make on it is 15K per unit.
yes.
All right. Okay.
And it's 60%.
Right. Okay. Forget the percentage. Now, let's look at we'll come to that later. Okay. Forget the percentage
Okay.
for now and look at the number of units that you have.
Mhm.
8 units, 15K.
Mhm.
So that's 8
Mhm.
times 15, that's 120K. Maths is good.
Yes,
All right.
it's good.
Okay. So 15K on each unit, that's 30K on 2 units, 60K on 4 units. 8 units is 60 times 2, that's 120K. All right. So when you get a chance to sell, this is going to give you 120K plus your down pay of 40K will be returned to you.
Yes.
Right. Now, there is a method which allows you to calculate how much you are losing every or if you take a loan, and how much for this particular asset, how much you are losing every payday.
2,400.
Okay. But let's not worry about that.
Mhm.
Assume that you will
Mhm.
have a market card coming in soon. Now, this is where you have to have more players in the game. Now, this is not just the
Mhm.
game. I will relate it to the real market scenario as well. But in the game, if you have more players, Now the possibility of the market card coming up is greatly increased.
Mm-hmm.
Is there is a lot of change in that. So assume that this is going to come up, and you are going to get 180K in cash,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to 40K that you will put as down pay. Or let's say right now you have 1120 as your payday, your financial
Yes.
statement, 1120. Okay. On your 1120, you can borrow up to 11K
Yes.
before you go to negative.
Mm-hmm.
So 11K is safe. Now you are left with, you have to manage another 29K.
Mm-hmm.
So your loan repayment is going to be 2,900 per month. So which means you will go negative by 880. You will be in a negative payday of 2,880.
2,880. Actually, there's also a cash flow.
There is a cash flow, correct? Yes.
Yes.
Let's come back to that. Cash flow is 1,600. So 2,880.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Minus cash flow.
Minus cash flow, which is 1,600. So that is going to be 1,280.
Yes, it's
Correct.
correct.
All right.
Yes.
So 1,280 is your negative payday.
Mm-hmm.
Your potential gain is 120,
Mm-hmm.
which means
I need to play for 120 rounds.
yes.
Actually, 120 paydays
Yeah.
to be in negative. So
Yes.
it's
Valuable
it's a
now.
great deal.
Makes
It's
sense.
a great deal. Yes,
Did I sell it?
you did sell it to me.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. Let's look
I'm
at your financial
there.
statement. 1,280. You were accurate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Now you have 500. Okay.
I will borrow
Yes.
because I will sometimes forget to borrow and
Okay.
just go to the payday.
Okay. All right. This is discipline. Now you have to
Yes.
fix a routine.
Mhm.
You have to fix a routine. So I always borrow at the end of my what do you say, turn before I click the end button.
Mhm. Me too.
Okay. And I always look at my financial statement before I roll.
Yeah. I look at it after I roll.
Okay. All right. So, okay. I'll say, why is this? Okay. We crossed 40 minutes already. It says
Oh.
running out of time. Okay. All right. So let's roll. Okay, baby. Okay. At least the bedroom has been very active. Okay.
It's
Stop.
Ben's turn, but he did write to the chats.
Yeah.
He's talking with
Okay.
this
He
lady.
can still manage to do that. All right. Done.
Victor wants gold coins.
Okay, that's from the small deals.
Mhm.
We'll take some time later, sometime to discuss the small deals. Okay, so could you end the
Okay.
screen share, Ben? Ben, can you end the screen share? All right. Arsen can start again.
Okay.
All right.
Let's take a look. Okay.
All right. Okay.
I will borrow.
Okay. Now, something else that I do is
Mhm.
I always look at how many turns does it take me to go through a payday. And this is not always, but
Mhm.
sometimes I look at how many turns does it take me to go through a payday. So I can postpone the borrowing for maybe 1 or 2 turns,
Hmm.
but it's not. Say I've looked at my statement, and then sometimes most of the time I keep it open, but then now I just closed it so that we'll see where I'm rolling. All right. Okay, again, this is a duplay. It's not a huge deal, but it's a
Mhm.
good one. Look at the text tenant in place at the investment duplay. Still, the cash flow is not so great because you're not getting
Mhm.
early for the other duplays. You were getting for the other Plex units, you were getting 200 per unit, and this one is only about 160 per unit.
Mhm.
Owner has income tax problems, distress sale. So classic indication of distress sale, needs to sell quickly,
Mhm.
which if you look at the down pay is very good because it is less than is what 5 times, so less than 20%.
Less than 20%, actually. I will calculate it. It's 17.7.
Right, so good deal for potential gains, not for cash flow, so I will pick it up. Right, there goes end. Stop share. Okay, stop share. Okay. All right. You have to stop giving in to temptation, Ben. Okay.
Okay, it's my turn.
Yes.
Let's check.
Right. All right.
Hmm.
The party. All right.
It was a good party.
You had fun, huh? Okay. Roll and big. Okay, now the reason why I didn't look at my financial statement is because I'm still playing with positive cash flow. I mean,
Mhm.
positive payday. This one is right. Say 5%.
Okay, let me sell you this one.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just every value is half of my card. So
Yes.
it's the
True.
same card actually, but a little lower.
Yeah. The when I finally sell, the
Mhm.
benefit that I get would be just as half as what you would get. This is where I say,
Yes.
if you do a bigger deal, you get more money.
Yes, of course.
Right. Okay. Now I'm already in negative payday and I will borrow. Always borrow only just enough to cover your next payday.
Mhm.
Okay, stop share. We've got 4 minutes and down. Ben? All right. Oopsie. Okay. Ben and Ursa.
It's my turn. Okay, let me change. Yes.
All right. Enough
No
cash.
problem.
Oh. All right. This is my
Nice.
favorite.
Okay, we don't need to discuss this one.
Yeah. No, it's the
There's
best.
better cash flow according to Plex.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Down
look at the
payment is
the
lower.
valuation.
Cost is lower.
Yes. The cost is really low, and
Mhm.
just 5% down pay, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's an amazing deal.
Yes. I agree. Okay, I need to borrow 4,000.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. 2 minutes to end, and we will roll. Right. Big. Deep. Okay. Now this is. Okay. This is a very bad deal, if you ask me.
Mhm.
30,000 per unit, and the best that I can make on it is 20K
Yes.
when I sell. And if I'm not able to sell in I have to borrow the entire amount, so I have to borrow 1,000. So I can manage just 1,000 per month, 1,200 per month. So which means I can manage just maybe 10, no, 20 paydays on that. Okay, roughly 20 paydays, which is not worth it. Okay, so I will just pass. It's not that it's a bad thing, but it's not so great that I would be loving to pick it up. Ben
It's
passed
my turn
already?
again.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, less than 1 minute. We'll have to restart this one again. Roll anyway. We will when it
Okay.
ends. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool. We'll restart the meeting.
Right.
Right.
Leaving.